Hello students, welcome to science class. My name is Abhishek Pratap Singh and today we're going to start one of the lesson of our science textbook, that is nervous system. So I'm going to read line by line, so you have to pay attention here and understand that what I'm going to tell you. One of the most important organ system in the body is the nervous system. It controls all the other systems. The nervous system stores information, controls feelings, direct movements, and help the body to respond to the changes in the environment. So the functions of nervous system are very important. Means it, first of all, it controls our whole body, and yes, it stores information, control feeling, direct movement, and helps the body to respond to changes in the environment. Means it helps your body to adapt the changes which are coming in the environment. It helps your body to face those changes properly, so that your body does not get fail or should not respond in the negative aspect. Now it directs movement, mean it's as it controls our body, so it also gives the direction to our body, that what our body has to do and what our body has not to do, like this. It controls feelings. Okay, as you can see that if a baby boy is there and his mind is not developed as our mind is, so you have seen that baby boy is keep on crying all the time. But in our case, we can stop our feelings, right? Because our brain has developed a lot. That's why we know how to control our feelings. All right, the nervous system is made of the brain, spinal cord, and nerves. So, student, the nervous system consists of these three major parts. That is, first one is brain, second one is spinal cord, and the nerve system. Means they are the nerves which are there inside our body, whole body. Now, students, we will learn one by one about all that three major parts of nervous system. So, the first one is the human brain. The brain gives order to every part of the body about what to do even when we are asleep. It can store a large amount of information and remember it when needed. So it stores information and remember when it needed, like a computer. This ability is called memory. So students, just few minutes back, I have just compared this nervous system with a system of computer, and which there is a CPU, right? So CPU also does the same work. That is, it stores information in it. It keeps the data in it, and whenever we want it, we can just open that data and we can have a look of that thing. Similarly, our brain, or like the human brain, has the same function. It keeps the data or information or other records as well, and whenever we want it, we can take it back or we can recall it. All right, the brain looks like a walnut and it is soft and it is protected by the bones of the skull. So when you look at the picture of brain, so it looks like very soft or spongy structure, or and it has a walnut like structure. Means if you look at the walnut, okay, when you will just peel off the walnut and you will look at the walnut, so similar structure is like a brain only, and it is soft and it is protected by the bones of the skull. Now, students, after reading about the brain, we have several other parts as well of the brain only, which we have to read. So, the first part is the cerebrum. It's a part of a brain only. Now, it's the largest part of the brain. Okay, by size, if we compare, so it is the largest part. It is a thinking part and controls voluntary movement, learning, intelligence, and memory. So, all the thinking process is being done in cerebrum only. It controls our voluntary movements. So, what are the voluntary movements, students? Voluntary movements are those movements which we do by our wish, for which we give command or generate command from our mind through muscles. Like, so these are the things, whatever we want to done, those are called voluntary movement. Learning, intelligence, and memory are also done here in cerebrum only. It also help us to understand the signal that we get from the sense organ. So whatever the signals we get from our sense organs, means like our nose, eyes, fingertips, hand, palm, okay, lips, chin, not chin, uh, tongue, okay. So all these parts which are able to sense different things, so all the signals are read by this cerebrum part of brain only. All right. Now, the next part of the brain, or the other part of the brain, is the cerebellum. It is at the back of the head. So when you, like the location of your brain is there in your skull area, and when you will just put hand on the back side of your head, So in that area, there is a cerebellum present. Just below the cerebrum, it is in charge of movement and helps to maintain the balance of the body. So the functioning of this part of brain is to charge, like is to take the charge of the movement of the body and help to maintain the balance of the body. So when like as we know that our balance is automatic, like you don't have to make balance all the time, right? So this cerebellum part has a responsibility of keeping your body into balance. And yes, it also helps to take the charge of the movements. Whatever you are doing, the movement should be well defined, and it should be in, like it should be without risk as well. So by this is the functioning of cerebellum, which take cares of your movement and balance. After that, there is a medulla. It's a lowermost part of the brain, and connects the brain to the spinal cord So as we know that our nervous system consists of three major parts, that is the brain, spinal cord, and the nerves. So the medulla has a medulla is connected with the spinal cord. That's why it's the lowermost part of the brain and connects to the spinal cord. It controls the heartbeat, breathing, blood circulation, digestion, and other involuntary actions like sneezing, swallowing, and so on. So now the functioning of this brain is that to control the involuntary actions, which we do not have to give command to our brain and then to muscles. So the functioning of this brain is that like it works automatically, and it works on the functioning of the body which is going on without letting you know this. Okay. So for, like you don't have to give command to your brain that your brain should start digestion in your stomach. So like medulla helps in involuntary actions. Suppose the breathing, you don't have a command on it, right? You don't have to give command for breathing. So similarly, actions like these, like blood circulation, breathing, and the digestion, so these kind of functions are being done by or handled by medulla.